A word for our listeners. Achtung Cthulhu is set in the 1930s and 40s. We will be using terms and sayings from those times, including some that could be considered offensive. It is not our intention to offend. We merely wish to offer as accurate a view of the time period as possible. Welcome to Masks of Nyarlathotep, a Nerd's Domain gaming podcast. Join us each week as our investigators uncover the corruption of the mythos in World War II. Starring George Chimples, Phil Durham, Rob Walker, Jestin Kimmet, Shirley Niedzwiecki, and Scott Troiano, with Matt Quiett running the table as the keeper. Eldritch evils and crazed Nazi cultists await you just beyond this music.
Hi, everybody, and welcome back to the Nerds Domain Presents Masks of Nyarlathotep. I'm here with Rob.
Having a great time.
Shirley.
Natter flatter better.
Shirley.
Natter flatter
better.
God, I forgot what
Giorgio.
What?
Do I now?
And Philistina.
Waffles is a great penguin.
I know, right? That's some bitch. He's such a pretty little waffle.
So, Robert,
Yar.
you have taken some damage
I have.
and some sanity loss.
Felt so good.
Who is
Hurt
on
so
second
good.
watch?
That was me.
Can you roll a spot hidden and or field crafts? And throw those dice on the floor. Good job. You're doing great there, Phil. 10 for 10.
Pass.
So you have successfully field crafted or spotted? Hiddens?
Correct. Spotted, hidden, or field crafted.
Field crafting then. So, you are watching. You're seeing a lot of what Evelyn saw. That patrols have come closer. You're seeing fewer patrols as the night goes on, but there are still patrols going around. You hear a little bit of rustle down by the
Bay.
The dock of the bay?
down by the canvers, and you see William kind of startle and sit up a little bit. He seems unsettled.
William?
Sir? I mean, I'm obviously shaking.
Sorry, what?
He's gone over to the dark side. Shoot him. Shoot him now. Shoot him now.
Right in the nose hole. Left one.
Are you well?
I don't know. I had a really weird dream.
Anything that we should be concerned about?
No, you know that like that bad dream that just feels odd. That's what it was.
Do I know what that is?
I mean, you've had a bad dream and woken up from it and felt that kind of feeling. You get what he's getting at.
Okay.
I'm sure there's a German word for it because they have words that explain those kinds of things.
Icky.
They have words to explain everything.
It's probably from the sausage they brought back or something.
Knocked Shrek.
Well,
Not Shrek, right?
Knocked Shrek.
That's what I said. Not Shrek, right?
well, get your rest. I'm sure that we'll need it.
I think I'll go relieve myself real quick.
Are you going to avoid your bladder?
I am.
Okay. So you go to...
Well, I'm going to attempt to. I've been sweating all night. It's hard to tell.
Yeah.
Does he need to roll for that?
Actually, you need to roll...
I critically failed rolling my... I'm kidding. I gotta...
No, you do need to roll... Are you trying to walk away like normal, like nothing's wrong?
Oh, no. I mean, I just woke up from a bad dream.
Yeah, you're also kind of shaky. Are you trying to...
Yeah.
Okay, roll for persuade. Persuade.
If I could just use that rule I just had. It'd be
Nope.
Perfume?
Perfume.
It's alphabetical.
62.
Those are numbers.
29.
29 under.
Oh.
29
Where would you
over.
get 62?
29? No, the 9 looks like a 6.
Okay, yeah. Okay, that makes sense.
It was 62, and it's over.
Over?
Yeah. My persuade only 15.
So he is really like overly shaky for just a weird dream as he walks to relieve himself.
Did we leave Switzerland with morphine?
Yes, it would have been in your packs.
Oh, that's not a bad call.
Dose him up.
Or he's afraid that he's
Don't
already
put me back
dosing.
on it. Right.
I'm afraid that he's
I'm
already
clean currently.
Yeah, that's your problem, man.
Oh, that's it. I got the DTs going.
Have we been carrying alcohol?
Hell yeah.
I would say there's probably some sort of alcohol with you.
Have I seen the professor drinking alcohol?
No.
Okay. I'm not going to do anything right now.
Okay. Are you just going to relieve yourself and then come
Yeah.
back? Okay. So you go back. Are you laying back down and going to sleep?
I'm going to attempt to.
Are you going to force yourself back in again?
I'm going to try to drift a little bit.
Okay. So you're just going to let it happen if it happens? Or okay. You lay there for...
That was a head nod for our listeners.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, that whole being verbal thing when you're shoving candy in your mouth. Is
Oh, I'm putting a gummy in my mouth.
You kind of lay there. It has to be like an hour goes by before you start to drift off.
Okay.
Roll dreaming for me. It's alphabetical.
Yeah, it was... No, it's not actually. It's 40
I
over
know.
30.
40 over 30. Okay. You find yourself kind of outside of the castle, right at the gates, as you can kind of see by now, and as has been described to you. One of the gates is open. There is
Has it felt easier to do?
no. This one kind of like you slid into this. That's how it feels. You can see the sandbag outline or shape around the machine gun nest. So it's it's obvious that is there and is permanent. You can also see the machine gun, but it seems to just be sitting there, kind of. It's in an unused position, so it's probably tilted down and resting on the whatever. You don't see anyone at the gates. The one gate is fuzzy. The one that you've seen shut is fuzzy, as though it moves on a regular basis. The other one's open.
The one's open?
Yeah.
Just straight open?
Yeah.
I'm going to peer through.
In there, it's a small courtyard. Actually, it's a decent-sized courtyard. 4 Kubelwagens sit there, but they're fuzzy.
Okay.
And a half-track with a machine gun attached to the top. It is a little less fuzzy. Like, it probably means it moves around less.
Gotcha.
On the side of the castle, there are spots where you can make out a red hue of what is probably the Nazi flags.
Okay.
It's not that they probably are taken down less often. This is what you're grasping from that, but still taken down pretty regularly.
Gotcha.
And then the castle sits in front of you.
The doors in the castle?
Shut. Fuzzy, but shut.
Fuzzy but shut.
And they're a little less fuzzy, like they stay shut most of the time, which makes sense, it's building.
Okay. Is there any access below? Like, so I can't go down, perhaps? And down in instead of going through the main door, going down in? Like a cellar.
Give me a spot hidden.
Critical success at 1.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you look around, you find what you're assuming is some sort of like servant entrance or something. You could probably go in that. It's a smaller door, but still accessible.
Okay. Yeah. Ooh. Nice. Let's do that.
Okay. So you go in that door. Give me a dreaming to try and open that door.
46 over 30.
Okay. Yeah, it opens. It's a little tough. It opens, and then you walk in, and it doesn't slam, but it is now shut behind you once you get inside.
Okay. I didn't shut it?
No.
Okay, just resumed its
it
natural
also,
state.
Right. It
Gotcha.
It's not like it swung shut. It was open when you opened it and held it there, and when you let go of it, it resumed its natural state.
Gotcha. Okay.
Once you were out of its blocking area.
Right. So I'm going to look around the area. I want to see if it's...
It is dark, but it is also easy to see. Not like... You know it's dark in there, and there's no light, but it's also easy to see around.
It's not bothering me that it's dark.
Yeah, it's not shadowed.
Right.
It's just kind of, it's a muted color or a muted light.
Right. Do I see any of the big burly guys? Do I see any of the crystals?
As you walk through,
Is it
you're not
set-
seeing anything.
So it's
really.
not set up like the other castle.
Not right. Right here where you're seeing it. What do you want to follow the little? Okay, so you go down a little bit of a hallway into what is clearly a kitchen. Everything you would expect to see in the kitchen is in some form of fuzz. Like it's either used really regularly or not. You don't see anybody here. There is what is clearly a steps down to the basement,
Okay.
and then you can go further into the castle
Okay.
on the same level. Do you want to go down?
I want to go further in.
Down or further in?
Down.
Down? Okay.
Down.
You
I'm trying to retrace like similar path we were on before.
You go down, and you find yourself in a storage room. There's a door off to the side. It's open.
Okay.
Nothing big there. But it looks like there's food storage here from what you can tell from the stuff that's fuzzed out.
The outlines kind
Yeah.
of.
Yeah.
Okay.
You going to go through the door?
Yeah.
Okay. You open the door. It seems heavier. It allows you to move it, but it seems like the other doors are wooden. This one seems to be some sort of metal, and reinforced. And as you step in, you realize why almost immediately. You are in cells. Like you're not in a cell, but there are cells all through this area,
Okay.
kind of lining the hall.
Are the doors fuzzy?
No, they're very, very slightly, but they are shut.
Okay.
There is a slide window. Those are fuzzy. Some of them more fuzzy than others, but the doors themselves are pretty solid.
Is there a cell occupied?
I mean, you're going to start going down and checking them?
Yeah.
Okay.
Just kind of a quick walk through, looking at each.
You go through two of them. They're unoccupied. You go to a third. Those will be on the second one on the right. And then when you force the little slider open, because you've had to force every one of them open, they are shut in their natural state. You see a man there in what looks like a military uniform. Roll, do you have military doctrine or command or neither of those?
No.
Roll idea. Or knowledge. I'm sorry, knowledge. No. It's up at the very top next to the stats.
It's a 99.
It's alphabetical.
You could still fail.
I did not. I got a 98.
Almost failed. It is a French Foreign Legion uniform.
Oh.
He does not look French. He has the bearings of a German. From his hairstyle, you're guessing American.
Okay. And
Can I get a spot hidden from you?
free dice.
Those are my dice. You can't just drop those.
14.
14 under.
14 under 75.
Oh, yeah. You see on his shirt where his name would be, it says October.
Oh. We know that name.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah, we do.
Evelyn's last name is October.
Yeah. And her uncle's name was October.
Well, yeah, that's generally how the family name works.
Yeah. Well, not if she can be married.
Uncles can have different last names.
They can.
They can.
But hers didn't.
That's true.
Is this him?
He's never seen him before. He has no idea.
Cool.
Yeah. But I recognize the name.
Mm-hmm.
Huh. Okay. Weird.
You go to the other.
Yeah.
He
He
is fuzzy as though he moves from that
right.
area.
He's not here.
He is not here.
Right.
But he's also
in the cell, but he's not here.
Right. But
Right.
he's also probably been there long enough that he's leaving an impression on the dreaming.
Right.
So you go to the other cells. You do find a couple other men of no
one's here.
No one's here.
Right.
But you do find a couple other cells occupied.
Okay.
It's possible the ones you found empty are occupied and they just haven't been occupied long, or they've been occupied by different people over a rapid succession of time.
Right.
When you get to the end of the hall, you do find a little guard area. Now that you think about it, the more you had to struggle with that first door you came in that put you in this hallway, it was probably locked.
Gotcha.
but that lock didn't stop you here.
I just can move right through. I'm going to try to focus on the stairway that I had followed the first time I came in.
At the top of the stairs or bottom?
Uh-huh.
Okay. Roll. Dreaming.
41 over 7 or 30.
Okay. You find yourself kind of laying at the top of the stairs.
Okay.
Like you didn't quite do that right, but
Right.
it was close enough. Oops.
Right.
Like,
So-
not a huge deal.
I'm not in the floor.
No, you're not hurt or anything. You're
Right.
just kind of laying there instead of standing.
Gonna walk down past the room that I went in, and I'm gonna continue to explore up there.
Okay, so you're going to go out of the kitchen just explore the first level.
Yeah.
Okay. You start looking around. It's a lot. You find your way back to that main entrance.
Mm-hmm.
Are you staying on the first floor? Or are you going to go back up?
Back up.
Okay. Are you going to that same room?
No.
Okay.
I'm gonna go.
The opposite direction?
Yeah.
Okay. You check a couple of them. They're clearly bedrooms. Nothing huge.
So that's the only. Okay.
Roll dreaming for me.
41 again.
Okay. Everything starts to shake,
Okay.
and you don't know why. You're not hearing anything. It's just things are shaking.
Is there a window or anything nearby?
You can move towards a window in one of
Right.
the rooms. Look outside, and everything like everything.
The whole world's shaking.
Roll
I'm gonna
another.
Try to
dreaming.
force myself out of it, out of the dream.
Oh, there you let go as soon as
Yeah.
you let go, and you realize that it is Carlos kind of shaking you awake. You've been Carlos. You ended your watch and you went to go wake him up. He's in a deep, and I mean deep sleep. Like you've never seen someone sleep like this before. Like they could have bombed the places next to you. He might have slept through that. You heard about this guy named Weld in a boat and how thoroughly he slept.
I'm going to
kinda
slap
like
him in the face once or twice.
Yeah, as you start to wake up, you get slapped
Oh, good.
pretty thoroughly in the face. Yes, Mr. Blake.
Towards the end of my watch, after the professor has gone back to sleep, I want to check our morphine supplies.
Everything looks like it's all there. The alcohol is where you would expect it. I mean, you weren't exactly keeping a close eye on it, but it looks like what you would expect for the three of you drinking, and only the three of you, not him.
Okay. Thank you.
Do you pass on any information to Carlos?
Yeah. So when I wake you for your watch, I'll say, the professor awoke with a start during my watch, and when he went to go relieve himself before resuming his sleep, he was clearly very shaken, but he passed it off a bit. All of our morphine is in place, so I'm not sure what the situation might be, but I want you to be aware. I don't know if we want anyone else to be aware, but
Bad dreams.
So, when you smack him awake, Carlos, he is clammy, like you would expect someone with a fever to be. And if you touch any of his bed clothes, like any of the clothes he's wearing, they're soaked.
I'll go pour him some water into a canteen, or from a canteen into a cup for him.
Okay.
After I slap him
Okay.
a little.
Okay. So you've been slapped awake.
Woohoo! I don't say anything yet. I don't have anything to say. I just kind of rub at my face where I've been smacked.
Trouble sleeping.
Yeah, I've been having bad dreams all night.
Why is that?
I don't know. It's just weird dreams. I think it might have been the schnitzel.
Roll your persuade.
But we ate sauerbraten.
I got the persuade.
He says sauerbraten. Whatever it was, he would have at least given you the right words.
Well, all right. Your watch.
Okay.
Okay.
Do my watch.
Carlos, you go to sleep.
Yeah.
Your watch goes. I mean, nothing has happened other than you guys can start to see. While you're watching, the sun starts to come up. You see that the patrols are widening out and they're becoming more numerous, but nothing out of the ordinary.
Okay.
That's it. Yeah.
Yeah, that's...
The night goes pretty uneventful, other than William being a little off. Do you change during your watch?
My clothes?
Yeah.
Yeah, because I'm soaked.
Okay. Do you wash down and
A little bit, not like a
like a scrub, but more of a
Right.
rinse? Okay. All right.
damp towel or something.
Okay. So your watch goes by uneventfully. Everybody kind of wakes up around the same time, and it's getting light out, and you're aware of how bright it is.
Did anyone get any insights?
Nothing happened on my watch.
The patrols seemed smaller and tighter at night than during the day.
Yes, I would have to agree.
Makes sense.
Are we having this discussion over breakfast?
Yes.
More sausages.
Fabulous.
I'm not going to eat a sausage.
What are you eating?
Nothing.
Bread.
Yeah, like something light and soft. Easy. Easy on the gut. And water.
How's your stomach, Professor?
Feeling better?
Hopefully, tomorrow night will be more restful for you.
Are we going to camp tomorrow night, or are we going to start making our run?
I'd like to go.
I mean, we can't spend... I mean, we could spend time surveying. We need to look around and continue to investigate, but we need to eventually... Don't want to get caught out here.
Do we go today or do we go tonight?
Good question.
Seems with smaller and fewer patrols, night would be better. I would suggest a closer reconnaissance tonight before perhaps making our ultimate assault the night after. But if we want to go in tonight, then I suppose we could do that, but I suppose I'd like maybe one more.
Can I get a spot in from all of you?
Got it.
Nope.
George, you're doing great tonight.
I'm just rolling all
Worse.
90s.
What'd you say, Shirley?
I said it just keeps getting worse.
Okay. So, Blake and Thomas, you both...
No, I failed.
I'm sorry.
It
Thomas,
was one of
all
my
by
few
yourself.
fails.
All by yourself. You do notice that there is a patrol coming up towards you guys. There's a road that goes not too far from the camp, but you did not see any patrols while you guys were setting up camp or during the night that came anywhere near here. Looks like, from what you can see, it looks like 2 Kubel wagons, probably 8 guys. None of them are huge. They're all normal sized.
Okay. How far back are we from the road?
That's up to you guys. Unless you say otherwise, I'd probably say 100 yards, enough that you're easily concealed. Like they're not going to see you from the road unless they get out of the vehicle and look.
How deep is the cave?
Deep enough that you can get all the way in it, and it kind of curves back, so you can get out of. Like you can't be seen at all.
Does it terminate?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm going to snap my fingers.
Okay.
And kind of wave at everyone and tell them to silence, like put the shush finger up.
Okay.
And then I'm going to kind of direct them at the...
Yeah. Now that he's kind of pointed it out, you guys see the 2 Kubel wagons coming up.
Do we have a fire going?
No.
No. If anything, you have like hot coals, and that's about it. But probably not even that.
Right.
I would unlimber my gun and motion everyone back into the cave.
And I'd grab anything that would be obvious in sight, pull my pistol, and then head back into the cave where I can still have a sight line out. But
Okay.
Quick question: when we came from Switzerland, what's our weapon situation?
You're packing.
Like, we're back on commando raids, or we just have like
Yeah.
pistols and stuff?
You would be assuming you have some sort of rifle or machine gun of some sort, whichever you prefer, and a pistol.
Okay,
And then rounds. You know,
kind of what we had before, roughly.
Yeah, you can't carry a ton, so just keep that in mind.
Okay.
You guys pull back. All of you can roll a listen for me.
Ought to.
Fail.
that's a really big fail.
Shirley.
Fail.
Wow. So,
I'm rolling 80s and 90s.
Thomas, can you roll me your German?
33 over 30.
You hear, all of you hear the vehicles kind of slow but not stop. Just the engine revving drops, and you can hear them like they're close, about 100 yards away. And you, Thomas, you hear just kind of over the engine a little loud. Someone say, the commander said there's someone out here. I don't even know where to begin to search, but we've got to start somewhere. You got your German, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
That's about 3 over.
It's clear that he is, whoever is saying that is definitely in charge, but he doesn't really. It's like saying, hey, there's some keys outside. And you're like, outside where? Outside. Just out there. Go get them. It's clear that he has no idea. Like, he's following orders, but he doesn't know how to follow them well in this situation.
I'm going to withhold that.
Of course. Sure.
I'm going to motion us back so we're like in the cave just around the bend so that if someone, comes through, we'll have point blank surprise blasting powers.
You guys kind of stay quiet for a couple of minutes. You hear some crunching through the leaves that are on the ground, but it's at a distance, not super close. All of you can give me a spot hidden. You want to roll those dice, Shirley?
Fail.
Pass this time.
You have to actually roll the dice before you fail.
11 under 75.
Okay.
Pass.
Shirley failed. Okay. The two of you that passed, you do see them out. They're out a distance. Like, they're not right up on there. They're not searching. Like, they're walking around, but they're not like turning over everything and looking really hard. They're just kind of walking through the forest or the vegetation. They don't seem to know what quite to look for. There's just 2 men though. It's probably just the 2 of them right here.
Distance?
50 yards.
Okay.
Far enough away that where you're at with the darkness in the cave, they're not going to see you.
Okay.
You wait a few more minutes. You don't really hear much more. It's probably another half an hour, and you hear the crunching coming back from the direction that they were headed. They're a bit closer. They're probably 10 yards from the mouth of the cave, but they're not even looking around and don't have their guns at attention. One guy has it kind of up on his shoulder, just kind of walking, and the other one isn't even holding it. It's just on its strap, kind of hanging. They're both carrying rifles.
Okay.
Keep quiet.
And nobody
calm.
else is around?
Not to the best of your knowledge.
How far away are they?
10 yards from the mouth of the cave.
Oh, my sneak's bad. I'm not doing it.
I don't think anybody in the group sneaks well. To be like, I'm sneaking up on you.
Don't turn around.
Like, we are objectively terrible spies.
Yeah.
Quiet and calm.
Oh,
Yep.
You guys just letting them walk by?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. I know, right?
Could use those uniforms.
You hear the engine that had been idling.
I can use my life.
The engine that had been idling starts back up or revs up a little bit, and you hear they drive away. From what you can hear, farther south, not away from the city.
What time is it now?
Mid-morning. You guys have been up for a little bit, exchanging information, and then, you heard somebody coming up the mountain. Saw, whatever.
If we don't make our assault tonight, then we'll need to have a different camp.
Agreed.
All right.
But I think for the time being, we're best safe here as we're going to be anywhere.
I take off my jacket, roll it up, and take a nap.
You're taking a nap, you said?
Yeah, on the side of the cave.
Okay.
So we're going to do infiltrating stuff tonight. So I'm taking a nap.
Fair enough. So the day you guys just kind of hang out around the camp, keep an eye out. Is that the idea?
We can set watches and take naps.
Okay. The day goes by pretty uneventfully. You do see the two cool wagons come back down the mountain to the city. It's a couple hours later. You guys pack up. You're heading down that evening. Is there a plan for this assault?
This is reconnaissance.
Okay. Is there a plan for this reconnaissance?
Blake has it.
Blake, what's the plan?
Yes, let's leave this to Blake. This is a good idea.
So we're going to find a quiet place, and we're going to strangle a professor. No.
You don't even know I'm a bad guy. Metagaming.
A bad guy and an enemy are two separate things. They know you're probably a bad guy.
Oh, yeah.
In all fairness, Carlos is a bad guy. He did burn a house down.
That was full of Nazis. If you think that burning a house down full of Nazis is a bad thing, well, gentlemen, I've got nothing to say to you. Clearly, nothing to say.
So what's the plan?
Robert, have you been given the title professor by a university?
Yes.
Evil.
Yeah, it might be a thing that happened.
You are a bad guy.
Oh.
In this game. Anyway, no, I think that the real plan would be that we would approach the city definitely no closer than we have previously seen the night patrols go out, and look for a way to get into the sewer system.
Okay.
To try to look for underground ways to move about the city.
Okay. You guys get back. So you're going to go all the way in the city then? Because the patrols don't go that far out. They're only a few blocks away from the castle at night.
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah. I think the idea of the reconnaissance is to see if we can find a way into the castle, so that on the following night we can then plan our assault into the castle.
Okay. So you guys are walking around that evening, kind of acting appropriately for your whatever cover, your traveler's cover. You do see some patrols. You're not in the same area they are. You're far enough away that they don't seem to bother you. You see them stop at least one group of people, ask for papers, and kind of jostle them about before sending them on their way. It takes probably an hour or two before you find a decent area that is not being watched, that you can maybe find a way in, and you do find a way into the sewer. It's not pleasant. It's a little cramped, but what's your size, Blake? Because I think you're the big guy. And what's your size, Carlos?
My size is 10.
Okay.
My size is 15.
Yeah. So Carlos, or I'm sorry, Blake, you're going to be very cramped, but everybody else should be okay. And by cramped, I mean if there's combat in the sewers, you're going to take negatives, and it can be substantial.
Well, I'm hoping that there aren't any monsters down here.
Okay.
And that no one in our party would turn against me down here.
I'll take point.
Okay. Carlos, you start heading down. Do you guys have flashlights or?
We've got field kits. I assume we'd have flashlights.
Okay. So then you're going to employ those. That's what I'm double checking.
Yeah, why not?
Okay. You guys walk in the direction of the castle. Carlos, can you give me a navigate? I think you've got navigate, right?
I do, and I pass.
You have to double back a couple of times. You know, you're underground. It's a little difficult to tell which direction's which, and these kind of wind. They are not built in straight lines. They're not like gridded out or anything. You get an idea of where you're going, and you get to a point where you're pretty sure you're in the either in or near the castle. You find an area where there were like handholds, steps, or ladders, a handhold ladder up, and they've all been clearly like cut off. Like they're the metal U's, they've been cut off, so there's no way to climb up it. Which is generally a good indication that whoever was above doesn't want anybody coming up from the sewers.
Is there any sort of lips that any sort of like, grappling type hook could be thrown up and attached to, or how high
You
up?
could hypothetically climb the stone walls. It would be difficult at best, and you would probably need to be skilled at climbing.
What about how high are we talking?
15 feet?
Okay, so we could even like jury up a kind of step ladder thing to get up there in pieces.
Yeah, you would have to go get equipment for that.
Oh yeah. I'm not saying right now.
Yeah. Yeah, you could probably get something collapsible or something that's easy to build down here. You have an idea of how much room you have down here to build stuff too. So
yeah,
you are covered in water and what is probably filth at this point.
hell yeah.
He's a dirty boy.
I'm gonna rub it in the professor's hair.
Okay.
Be like, sleep good tonight,
And where else are
stinky boy.
Are you guys hanging out down here for a while and trying to get an idea, see if there's another entryway, or do you want to head back out and see if you can piece together something?
What time is it?
Game time.
Your watches tell you that it's getting close to midnight.
Tell my watch to not sass me.
Should we? I propose we spend another hour searching for a way into the castle.
Sounds good.
Then we go to a new camp and plan for entering through this and figure out how we're going to get up there.
Okay. You spend another hour or so. You don't find another way into the castle. You do find a way out of the sewer that will make it easier to get in here, and it's on the kind of like the back side of the castle. There's a grate, but you can. Carlos figures out a way to open it without making it seem like it's open.
Little backside attack.
Yeah. So it'll be a much quicker. Like you can get to this and then get inside, and it'll take you about 20 minutes to get to the spot instead of an hour and a half that it probably took you the first time. So you guys, are you going to go out that end and then go find somewhere to camp?
I think that makes sense.
Sure.
Okay. So you guys head down into the woods and camp for the night. Everything goes fine, unless William wants to try and do some more dreaming.
Is there a stream where we can refresh ourselves?
Yeah, you're going to wash up and clean your clothes and probably change. 'Cause you probably stink. William?
Once.
Okay, well, let's, it doesn't matter who's. Yeah, it does. Roll a d3. And that'll be Shirley is 1, Carlos is 2. Blake is 3.
Carlos.
Carlos! So go ahead and roll you're going to push yourself into it?
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
32 over 30.
Hey, that's not that bad. So you push yourself in. You find yourself again just inside the castle courtyard.
Okay.
Where do you want to go?
We'll start moving towards that hallway again. The one that I was stopped whenever Carlos.
Okay. So you go back. You go in the front doors to the entryway.
Yeah.
Go up the stairs. Go down the hall to the left.
I'm going to try to. This time I'm going to try to push it. I'm going to think about it and try to push myself to the location I need to be in.
What location is that?
Right by the hallway where the people were dreaming.
Oh, okay. So you're going to go back to that first plot.
Yeah, I want to go to the
Okay.
first spot. I want to see if they're still in there.
Yeah, you go in there. You find both of the couches empty.
The room is empty now?
The couches are there.
But the people,
but the
in terms of people.
The people are gone.
Okay. I'm going to continue to explore that floor.
Okay. You keep looking around. You find a couple other places that have some furniture, but not a lot. Nobody else is really in the castle itself. On the second floor, on the second and third floor. On the first floor, you find some people that are kind of like flashing in and out in a ballroom. From what you can surmise, it's that they're dreaming about dancing in the ballroom. So they're not dreamers, but they're not actively skilled at it.
They slipped in on accident, kind of.
But they probably have a latent ability that allows them to slip in and out without their knowledge.
Okay.
Do you want to go back down to the basement? Because you never finished exploring the whole basement.
Yeah.
Okay. Are you going to go back down to the kitchen or go through the other entrance?
The other entrance.
Okay. So you go down to the basement. You do find a large room with some tables. There's not much on them, but it's clear that this looks very much like that last workspace.
Okay.
The back end of it is a door. It opens
from the previous castle.
From the previous castle. The back end of it, there's a door that opens into what you have to guess is a guard room for the cells.
Okay.
So it's nothing fancy. It's just you definitely did find somewhere that.
But we're setting up. We're seeing the same kind of events,
right.
The same kind of stuff. Okay.
You
then
did find a couple of doors on, we'll say 4 bedroom doors on the second and third floor, between the two of them, that were clearly locked, but you could still get through. You didn't see anybody inside though. So there are 4 rooms upstairs that are at least locked, and then all of those cells.
Okay, I'm going to try to push out of the dream.
Okay. Roll dreaming.
Got it. 22 under 30.
You wake up with no real start. You feel pretty okay. It's still disconcerting how you are popping in and out, but
Felt
it's not
easier.
that bad. Can you give me a sanity check?
I failed. I failed it by 6.
Okay. Go ahead and roll a d4. You're going to lose that much sanity.
Ouch.
That
was 3.
Yeah, as you realize that what you're doing is in no way, shape, or form natural, and you're really pushing the boundaries of your reality at this point, doing this. But you are kind of okay with that because you
Right.
feel better and stronger at it. Obviously not as good as other people, but better than where you were.
Right.
The rest of the night and probably through mid-morning go by without much of an issue. You see the patrols, they don't come anywhere near you guys. Eat breakfast, or late breakfast. Kind of midday, everybody's awake and rested. Are you guys doing anything, heading into town, going anywhere specific that you want to go?
There's woods, right?
Yeah, not thick woods, but like sparse woods.
I'm going to kind of try and harvest some like sturdy sticks.
Okay.
Larger than sticks. I mean, thick, sturdy ones that could double sort of like... Could resemble like walking sticks, but are certain specifications that I'm looking for.
Okay. And you're looking to build like a rope ladder out of this?
What I'm looking to do is kind of basically 4 walking sticks that wouldn't look too weird if people were walking around with them at night.
Okay.
Take them into the sewer, and then they'd have kind of, ideally, like, kind of a crotch split end at the top.
Mm-hmm.
That'd be sturdy enough they can kind of wedge them into each other in the framework of the cut, handlebars to give a little bit more. You could kind of like wedge them going back and forth diagonally in that framework and use it as more of like a climbing mechanism.
Okay.
To kind of assist in shimming up that way.
Okay. How are you breaking these?
I would assume I'd have some sort of like wood axe.
Okay. When you think about using that, you realize it will make a lot of noise. I mean, you're chopping wood.
Yeah.
You could probably find a small handsaw in town that would be much quieter. You can try the wood axe and it may work. because you can just use your shovel at that point. Because you've got your.
Are we near any caves?
You're not too far away. You could probably walk to one within half hour or so.
I'll ask if anyone's planning on going into town.
No.
No.
No, I'm not going into town either.
No. Not until we're ready to make our move.
I'm going to try and do it in the cave then.
Okay.
I'm going to try to help Carlos.
Okay. You do make some noise in the cave. It deadens it, but it's still projecting it.
Yeah.
You get them all cut the way you want without much of an issue. Give me a jury rig. Jury rig sounds right?
Yeah.
More of, I think Carlos has jury rig. You do have that, right?
4.
Oh, yeah.
And I am trained in it. I've got 70 in it.
Yeah. You get that set up pretty easily. Yeah, and everything seems to work out pretty good. Blake, as he's kind of finishing up and doesn't need a whole lot of help, it's more of like a one-man kind of job. You start watching out from the cave. There has been some sort of attention made because people are you can see down onto the castle, and people are kind of sending out extra patrols, but they don't seem to have a direction to go other than out that way.
Carlos, as soon as you're done, we need to establish a different camp.
Almost finished.
Okay. You finish up and then head back to the camp. It is about half an hour walk away from the camp, so it's not like it's going to be super close. And I think that's a good place that we can take a moment and wrap it up for tonight. Thank you guys for listening, and as always, we'll talk to you real soon.
And that will do it for us tonight on the Nerds Domain presents Masks of Nyarlathotep. Remember, you can email us at nerdsdomain@gmail.com or find us on facebook.com/nerdsdomain, on Twitter @nerdsdomain, or over at our site, nerdsdom.com. Be sure to sign up for the newsletter while you're there. You can head over to iTunes and give us a 5-star rating. We want to thank Josh Schott for our music. Don't forget, you can support us at patreon.com/nerdsdomain. And check out our shirts at slashloot.com.